Hello, we would like to talk about the formation of Malaysia. There are many challenges to integrate of Malaysia, and after overcoming these difficulties, Malaysia was formally established on September 16, 1963, and we picked some important key areas such as Sabah, Sarawak, and Singapore. And this establishment reflected Malaysia's strategic response to changing regional conditions and represented a turning point in Southeast Asia's post-colonial dynamics. Thank you.
Malaysia's struggle against communism underwent important tactical changes and action. The British government declared a state of emergency from 1948 to 1960 in response to the Malayan Communist Party's attempt to establish a communist state. During this time, Commonwealth forces assisted the Malaysian and British governments in dealing with the communist threat. Malaysia also addressed two underlying issues that attract communism by implementing social and economic measures such as the new economic policy. To reduce poverty and economic inequality between ethnic groups, with these various strategies and policies, Malaysia fight against communism flourished.
Hi, my name is Hasiban Wilabiba and I'm going to be talking about giving independence to Sabah, Sarawak, Brunei and Singapore. The grand design was a plan put out by the British to unite Sarawak, North Borneo, Singapore and Malaysia under a single national identity following independence. To solve the scarcity of natural resources, protect against communist domination and promote Singapore's independence, Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew of Singapore desired a union with Malaysia. He put out the Unity Plan, which called for the unification of Brunei, Sarawak, North Borneo, Singapore and Malaysia into a single nation. He convinced Tunku Abdul Rahman, Malaysia's first Prime Minister, to back the Unity Plan by pointing out economic benefits and ethnic balance. Due to the stark cultural contrast between the Malays and the various ethnic populations in North Borneo, Tunku had a tough time convincing them to join the union. Lee took on the task of persuading North Borneo's leader Donald Stephen of the advantages of the union. Leaders agreed despite cultural differences because of the shared economic benefits of prosperity and independence from British colonization. North Borneo, Sabah, Malaya, Sarawak and Singapore united to become an independent Malaysia on September 16, 1963. A widespread uprising in Brunei demonstrated opposition to the Malaysian plan, which ultimately resulted in the Sultan of Brunei's decision to forego joining an independent Malaysia in July 1963.
Hello, my name is Imre Plantema and I'll be telling you about sharing economy benefits. This means that the people use sharing services like Airbnb, Uber, GrabCar in Malaysia. It helps the community and you have, for example, homestays. These are people that use Airbnb, for example, to let people stay in homes, and this is giving high competition to hotels and you have Share WAQF. I'm not sure if I pronounce it right, but this is that different companies share their profits with other people to help the community. And also they found a positive correlation between sharing attitudes, sustainability, moral motivations, social hedonistic motivations, economic rewards and behavioral intentions of service providers. So in conclusion, a sharing economy helps the community. So yeah, thank you.
Hello, I will talk about defending the rights of the Bumiputera community in Sabah and Sarawak. Sabah and Sarawak are located in East Malaysia. Bumiputera means Prince of the Earth in Malay and refers to the indigenous people. There are some indigenous ethnic groups in Sabah and Sarawak, and they have given some special rights and privilege, including affirmative action policies, land rights, and cultural preservation. And these rights are applied in various fields such as education, business, and employment. Despite these efforts, challenges and concerns still exist, so it is necessary to address these issues and ensure the well-being of these communities in Sabah and Sarawak. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Wang Xinyi. Now I begin my part. Since 1881, North Borneo has been ruled by the British Empire until 31 August 1963. North Borneo was granted self-governing status by the United Kingdom and renamed Sabah, but it did not gain formal independence from the law, and its defense, foreign affairs, finance, and domestic affairs were still under the control of the British government. Back on August 31, 1957, the United States of Malaya gained independence from the United Kingdom, while Sarawak and Sabah were granted autonomous status on July 22 and August 31, 1963, respectively. The formation of Malaya was once opposed by Indonesia and the Philippines, both of which have competing claims to Sarawak and Sabah. On 7 August 1965, due to political differences, Singapore was expelled from Malaya and became independent on 9 August 1965, leaving only Peninsular Malaya, Sarawak, and Sabah in the Federation. When Malaya was formed, Sarawak and Sabah surrendered foreign affairs and defense powers to the federal government, but they retained many special rights, one of the most notable being the autonomy of immigrants. East Malaya can run its own immigration affairs. In the 1970s, the Malaya government implemented policies designed to favor Bumiputros to elevate the socio-economic status of the economically disadvantaged Bumiputro community and to diffuse interethnic tensions following the 13 May incident in 1969 by placating the Malaya majority, though granting them a privileged status over the Malayan Chinese. Originally intended to be a temporary measure, these policies are still in effect and have been described as racially discriminatory.
Kabul Commission is one of the important things in the process of foundation of Malaysia. This is a commission of inquiry set up to determine whether the people of North Borneo, North Sabah, and Sarawak supported the proposal to create the Federation of Malaysia, consisting of Malaya, Brunei, Singapore, North Borneo, and Sarawak. Kabul Commission doesn't have too many people. It just has 5 members. Lord Kabul is chairman of the commission. He leads this group. Kabul Commission has 3 stages. In 1961, Tunku and Lee Kuan Yew held a conversation with then British Prime Minister. They established the idea to set up an investigation committee. Then, in stage 2, in February 1962, the commission had set up and began its work in Malaysia. Then, after 6 months, the commission came to the stage 3. The commission released its founding report and the recommendations on 1st August 1962. It concludes that the formation of Malaysia should be implemented.
In 1963, when Malaysia was first formed, representatives of the main ethnic groups Malays, Chinese, Indians, and indigenous people came together to form the JPPK. To foster understanding and trust among Malaysia's ethnically varied people, JPPK was instrumental in fostering communication. JPPK's primary objective was to provide an inclusive environment in Malaysia by taking into account the rights and interests of every population. JPPK made a major contribution to the development of the 18-point agreement for Sarawak and the 20-point agreement for Sabah, which addressed the particular needs and worries of these newly joined states with Malaysia. The agreements were the product of rigorous discussions inside JPPK and acted as safeguards helping to foster trust between various ethnic groups. JPPK played a pivotal role in negotiating accords that established the framework for a nation that was peaceful and cohesive, significantly contributing to the goal of promoting national unity. Although JPPK's initial concentration was on regional issues, its work went beyond them to assist Malaysians of all origins in forging a shared sense of identity. JPPK offered a space for open dialogues that led various parties to get to know and trust one another, which enhanced the general atmosphere of collaboration. JPPK's philosophy of understanding and cooperation is still essential to this day.
The Intergovernmental Committee was established after the United Kingdom, as well as Malaya, had accepted the report of the Cobalt Commission in 1962. It played a significant role in the formation of Malaysia, as its members were responsible for the conditions of including the territories of Sabah and Sarawak into the planned nation of Malaysia. That was necessary since both states demanded special rights in order to be included in the new enlarged country. These are manifested in 20 points per Sabah and 18 points per Sarawak, including, for example, measures to protect the autonomy of these states and cultural aspects like the official native languages. When it comes to religion, both areas make clear that there should be no specific state religion, such as Islam, for the territories. Moreover, the existing education system in Sabah and Sarawak were to be controlled by the states. In order to ensure those special provisions, multiple changes to the constitution had to be worked out. This was accepted by the other representatives of the committee due to several reasons. On the one hand, the religion and culture of Sabah and Sarawak distinguished from Peninsular Malaysia. On the other hand, the combined landmass of these two areas excelled the landmass of the western part of Malaysia by far. In the end, the AGC accepted these amendments to the federal constitution, and the two Borneo states approved the decision.
Okay, so the next part will be Singapore referendum, which will be delivered by me, Hanifa Sharafedi. So first of the thing that we should know from Singapore referendum is the meaning of the referendum itself. So here, referendum is a condition where the voters are given a chance to voice their preference among options for a certain subject when operating in a democratic system, and it's actually one of the theory that's supported by Smith in 1986. So here in the Singapore referendum, as you can see on the left side is the referendum itself, which it has about three types, the type A, type B, and type C. And the main purpose of the Singapore referendum in 1962 is to give electorate regarding the merger with Malaya. And from the referendum, the result shows that 71% of the votes were cast for the type A option, which means that it's giving Singapore autonomy in labor, education, and the grid matters. And that's it for the Singapore referendum.
The next part is going to be appropriate things in Malaysia. Culture shapes humans' existence, providing rules for societal behavior and offering a framework for meaning. Malaysia's multicultural society, composed of Malays, Chinese, and Indians, which preserve diverse customs and religions. Ethnic relations rooted in historical periods like the Malacca Malay government and British colonial rule which shaped the nation. Malaysia distinctively avoids the notion of race, emphasizing language, religion, and culture for understanding interactions. Post independence, it transitioned from a pluralistic colonial society to a nation grappling with ethnic enclaves. Despite historical tensions, Malaysia strived for unity, illustrating an ongoing journey in building a cohesive national identity among its diverse ethnic groups.
In conclusion, the deliberate fusion of Malaya, Singapore, Sabah, and Sarawak to establish Malaysia in 1963 was a response to historical challenges, namely the communist and socio-economic division. The Malayan emergency demonstrated the intensity of the communist threat, which led to the implementation of a state of emergency and counterinsurgency measures. Prime Minister Tun Abdul Razak's administration made a concerted effort to lessen external support for communism by re-establishing diplomatic ties with China. The new economic policy and the Internal Security Act, which addressed political and socio-economic challenges, were two components of Malaysia's holistic strategy. In addition to creating a formal union, the goal of the country's foundation was to promote stability, unity, and economic advancement. The 1989 peace treaty, which marked the successful end of the communist threat, is evidence of the efficacy of these strategies. Malaysia's ability to overcome obstacles is demonstrated by its tenacity and development towards unity and prosperity, which is crucial in today's world.